Hello, what's going on YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and today is a glorious day because the roomies that I was with the 1-year-old and the 2-year-old, they're finally moved out. They moved out today, and it's a glorious day, which means I can finally make videos on the regular again. This video should have been out on Tuesday. So I'm making this just 2 days after it should have been uploaded because of all the incessant crying and the parents like either blasting music and they're out. I couldn't do it. So, I found out they were moving out. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. So, finally out, peace and quiet. I need the living room to do deck profiles. I have no space in my room anymore for deck profiles. There's just too much stuff in there now. I've acquired too much. So, there's that. So here we go. This is going to be the deck profile, the exact list that I piloted at the Fort Worth Regional. So I'm not going to explain too much. That will be in the profile. So let's get started. Alright guys, starting this bad boy off, we start with the Luna cards. The only reason we play the Luna package is because we're trying to essentially make sure we can play for free. There's too many hand traps this format, so we have to make sure that our stuff goes off nearly uncontested. But as I said in the regional report, DD crows are absolutely everywhere, and that kind of shuts down the Lunalight package pretty early. So that's unfortunate. Colado Chick is amazing. It ain't once per turn. Yeah, I love it. So, yep. Alright, so these are the only dangers we played, which was Triple Mothman. Again, it's level 4. We didn't play Choop because A, we would have increased our deck size, and 2, it is a fiend along with Azathoth, so that wouldn't have been our third name to make Curious. Or it was a different name, but it just wasn't going to be a different type because Azathoth is a fiend itself. So I don't know why, but for some reason having a super and 2 commons were really good. I almost always open one of these when you had a mixed rarity of Thunder Dragons. I opened the super a lot and got to these two, but there was times where I didn't even open the super and open this, and it was great. So honestly, I like the mixed rarities. So outside of the OG Thunders, we have our double roars, our double darks, and one hawk. That's basically it. Honestly, my brick hands involved basically drawing quite a bit of these, even though the deck's not even at 40 cards. So there is something that I would like to mention towards the end, but yeah. 2 Legionnaires and a Diabolos. Again, we want to reduce the number of bricks in our deck as much as possible. Legionnaire, there's no need to play 3 of them. You're going to get access to it very easily. If not Brotar, you'll get it via Melody. And of course you need Diabolos because it rips another card out of the hand and it's very easy to summon. So that's all the cards that we play multiples of. Essentially, that's all the packages. So we got all the one-off cards. We got our Zephyros the Elite. Zephyros the Elite, honestly, I find myself wanting to open it more than I want to search it with Force Strix. So I don't know. Should I play more? It's once per duel, but at the same time, it's so good when you open it because you don't have to go through many other steps just to get to where you need to go because you already opened it. So yeah, we got our Guardragon, our Brotar. This is for your Guardragon package, your IP turbos, your Carbonated, and all that. That's what you're sending off of Curious. Trudeau for your Ravine, but sometimes you'll dump Diabolos instead. And then our last random one-offs, we got our Wyver Burster and our Collapse Serpent. So these are considered, I guess, bricks, but if you open these, they're still really good. Especially this. I don't know how many times I've milled this off of Curious, and then on the mill 3 I somehow hit this. If you hit this off your Curious, Like the rest of the combos basically kind of just die from there because you need this. This gets to everything else. There's no other way to access the Ib Synchro. We're not playing Dugaris number 60 because we don't have the extra deck space for it. There's so many cards in my extra deck that I really should be playing, but I can't because I don't have the extra deck space for it, which is very unfortunate. So I really hope that the next Master Rule they give us more extra deck spaces, because it's happening with a lot of decks now, to where extra deck space is so tight to where you're losing even vital pieces, like you're losing vital cards to your deck because you only have a limit of 15 cards. Like, if even the important cards you can't even play anymore because extra deck space is that tight, that's when the extra deck kind of needs to go up from there. But, you know, a bigger extra deck also means cards like Super Polymerization and Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries become a little bit stronger as well. So we got our 12 other Lunalight cards for our spells. So that's how we can sit here, and I essentially have 12 copies of Kaleido Chick and Hurt and Tiger. That's how I'm able to consistently get Chick Tiger off a lot, because you're trying to, like, literally, if you access Lunalight engine, like, you can access the rest of the deck with the exception of the Thunder cards. The Thunder cards, you need to either mill one of them off Curious or draw into them with Saryuja, but since you go through so many cards with the Luna cards, you're good to go. Like, it's going to happen. Like, it's extremely rare that it doesn't. So we got our 2 melodies. It makes it to where we don't have to get our we don't have to rely on searching Levianeer with Rotor and, you know, dumping Diabolos with Ravine. Like, it's really strong, and it gets Serenade Dances, it gets like Zephyros Elite, it gets a lot of stuff out of your hand that you want in the graveyard. And our last card in our main being our Serenade Dance. Yeah. That rounds off the main deck entirely. Now let's go and move on to the extra deck. We got 1 Fusion, which is Thunder Dragon Colossus, 2 Synchros, our Ib Synchro, and our FA Dog Dragster. I think we got about 5 Xyz, so we got our 1 Forstrix to search our Zephyros so we can make our Curious. We need Dweller because everything is reliant on the graveyard. We need our Nyarla and Azathoth. We need to play these cards because you need to be able to not have to deal with 3 hand traps a hand. So yeah, and 38 to overlay with your Levianeer and your Diabolos. So after the extra deck, I'm going to, after the side deck actually, I'm going to list off like all the extra deck monsters that I should be playing, but I can't, simply because I don't have the space for it. Guardragon Pisty for our links, LP, Barricade Blocker. You need Barricade Blocker. It's really important. You need to discard the Serenade Dance out of your hand. We're only playing 3 Mothman because we want to keep our deck size down. So this is extremely important because it's very generic, and it's a dark monster for Curious, and it discards a card. It opens up a downward arrow. It's important. Like, there's no, like, the combo won't even will be nowhere near as consistent if it wasn't for Barricade Blocker. Next we got our Curious, and our last of our extra deck, and we have our Saryuja and our Appaloosa. Alright, so that's it for the links, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the side deck. Alright, side deck, we have a Cosmic Cyclone, or 2 Cosmic Cyclones, 2 Reboots, 2 Galaxy Cyclones. I played these because every time I go to a regional YCS, I always play against like some Mystic Mind deck and all that, and Galaxy Cyclone is a way to kind of out it while it's in the graveyard. This is important because in the deck we're playing Foolish Goods, and if our opponent stacks our deck with that, like if our opponent has the established the Goddess Skuld's Oracle, they'll never give you any of these cards. They'll never give you any form of back removal. and basically you're hoping that they would just give you foolish goods instead. If they give you foolish goods, you can activate and send this to the graveyard and get around the Mystic Mine. So that's the only reason we play those. We play 2 Legacy of the Duelist because I play Texas Regionals. There's a lot of back row decks. People play a lot of stun decks, a lot of control decks in Texas, so just more back row removal. As you see, there's a lot of back row removal going on right now, and I sided them in so many times, so many of my rounds too. So it was appropriate. 2 system downs. I did not want to play against Orcus. That's the unfortunate part. This is meant for Orcus. It is the freest win against Orcus like you'll ever see. Simply because back then it wasn't very too potent, simply because people ended on Dingirsu on the field, so whatever was under Dingirsu as a material went to the graveyard instead. But since people are ending on like Masquerena, this is now absolutely absurd. People have Heart Porters and Nightmare in the grave, Galatea in grave, Dingirsu in grave. They have all that juicy stuff in the grave, and they all get banished when this gets activated. Even when Battle's on the board, even when they chain Nightmare in response or Heart Porter in response, whatever Orcus they send or summon will also get banished because chain resolves backwards. So, like, the game is over. If System Down resolves, the game is over at that point against Orcus. And 3 Dark Rule no more. We needed something against combo. This is all, again, I do also play against, there's like a lot of stun decks too, so this is also really strong against like Inspector Border decks, decks that want to summon Inspector Border or Phosphodina with Moon Mirror Shields, all kinds of stuff. Like, you want to shut all those down, you want to turn off Colossus, all kinds of things. And the last 2 side decks, we got Cowboy. We won 3 matches because of this in time. And Tornado Dragon. This should be my extra deck, but I don't have the space for it. You know what else should be my extra deck? Number 60 Dugaris. That should be there too, along with, what was the other one? Like, Evil Storm Nightmare is okay, but like, I feel like I need Tornado Dragon, I need Dugaris. Also, I need Hieratic Seal, but I don't have the space for Hieratic Seal. Not only that, but one thing I do want to add, but it's impossible at this point. A lot of the brick hands I notice is where I open like multiple of these Thunder cards and not enough of the Luna cards. So if I had space for the Trishula fusion, I could easily just bump them down to 1. I could, at this point, I wouldn't even need to play OG Thunder Dragon. I can drop my deck all the way down to 40 if I played the Trish fusion in my extra deck and just banished the Thunder, like a Thunder Dragon Dark from the deck, and that would have just been a done deal. But I don't have the space for it. That's the issue. This is why we need 15, like more than 15 extra deck slots. Important cards are now being taken up. So it's just like, okay, I look at this, it's like, what would I do? Like, what would I replace for the Trish fusion? Would I do Romulus? I mean, I lose my Ravine at this point. I lose Ravine, I lose the ability to send Diabolos to the graveyard. And if I'll order Destrudo, that too. So I can't get rid of the Guardragons, I can't get rid of this because I need this to actually consistently go into the Curious combo. I need this. Again, it's Curious combo, like the whole point, the reason we play the deck is because, you know, you put up Colossus 38 and all that. But it's just, you know, do I take out Abyss Dweller and lose to graveyard decks? You know what I mean? It's like, what do I take out? Like, what? Do I take out Dawn Dragster? I mean, I could, but then I lose the extra interruption. Like, I lose the ability to stop impermanence on my Appaloosa. But then again, like, if people had impermanence, they would hit the Curious anyway. Like, the problem with that, all this is just, there's not enough extra deck space to cover all grounds. Like, and this isn't even just grounds against your opponent, this is grounds like for your own sake, like for your own combo. Like it requires too many cards. And not only that, but the Trish Fusion requires you to like banish the materials on field to get those effects off. So it's like what you're banishing Pissy, LP, and like maybe the Bro Tour, but a lot of times you want to summon Diabolos if you already got access to Bro Tour another way. Like if you opened it or something, you could Pissy the Bro Tour and then LP for the Diabolos. Like at this point, what are you banishing your Diabolos? So now you can't even make 38, and then you would just what use Trish Fusion and Fusion for Romulus. I mean, I don't know, man. Like just the lack of, I just need much more extra deck space to fully make this extra deck work. You know, I find myself going into 14 cards out of my extra deck bare minimum if I actually full combo. If I do full combo and I actually need the 4 Strix, then you know I go through all 15 of my cards. So that's one issue. Hopefully next Master Roll they'll give us more extra deck slots to work with. Like Tornado Dragon is a very important card because like Blind Dweller is okay, but if you you need the Tornado Dragon against back row. You need it. It's so important, but I don't have the space for it. So enough about not having the space for things. But yeah, guys, that's my deck profile. So if there's any changes I will make, honestly, I find myself missing Thunder Dragon Duo. So I would probably take out the second Roar for Duo and just go from there from that point on. So with that being said, guys, this is the deck profile. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I'm signing out.